And we're back, fans, for our main event here on IPW Weekly Recap. You see these three competitors going right at it. Let me explain what this match is all about. You see three of the top cruiserweights in the world in this match in IPW, and they're all defending their belts. Rod Steele, the IPW Light Heavyweight Champion. Jet Jaguar, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. And there you see him, sorry, the Florida Junior Heavyweight Champion is Jet Jaguar. And there you see the man who is the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Lex Lovett. This is an elimination match. If any man gets pinned or submits, the man who does that to him gets his belt, and then the winner of the last fall takes home all three belts.
I'm confused. I'm not even going to ask you to explain it again. The only thing I know is Jet Jaguar representing Team IPW, IPW Hardcore Wrestling. He's coming away with all three belts the way he deserves it. He is the best independent cruiserweight in the business, bar none.
That's true. He is the current NWA Florida Junior Heavyweight Champion, as I said. Also a fourth-time former IPW Light Heavyweight Champion. And you know he wants to get that belt back from the turncoat Rod Steele.
Now, why does Rod Steele have some surprised look that Jet Jaguar just kicked the paste out of his mouth? Rod Steele, Jet Jaguar, this has been going on for months. And he looks surprised. Jet ducks the clothesline, takes him over the top, and now he's going to turn around, work big man style with the monster, Lex Lovett.
That's true. Lex Lovett, still considered a light heavyweight, but as you see, he's considerably larger than these other two individuals, which I'm sure will be of great help to him. Not only is he larger, he's a great athlete, a great high flyer. He may not be on our team, but you cannot deny the abilities of Lex Lovett.
I'd like to know in what world, in what wrestling organization or dimension is Lex Lovett considered a cruiser, junior, or light heavyweight? Please, somebody tell me. Nice shot of Jet's ass there.
Obviously, in the NWA, they consider him one. Now you see Jet trying to get the pin on Lex Lovett, but Rod Steele breaks it up. People might be wondering, this is unfair. It's two NWA guys going up against Jet Jaguar from IPW. But let me tell you, fans, it seems that what we've seen in the past few weeks here, Lex Lovett has just as much of a disdain for the booty-shaking ways of the Miami Pound Machine Rod Steele as we all do here in IPW.
I don't know, the booty shaking, from what I understand, is very over with the young ladies. It's over with the All-American Jeff Peterson, the former IPW Light Heavyweight Champion. That's the kind of talent that has come through IPW. Jeff Peterson, Jamie Noble, Tony Mamaluke, Jeremy Lopez, Reckless Youth, the list goes on and on and on. Lex Lovett, to be honest with you, there is no history with the NWA Junior World Heavyweight title. He's the beginning of their history. They should be latching onto that kid and riding that bus right into the sunset.
That's true. He defeated Mike Thunder a few months back in Texas. Mike Thunder.
Oh, okay. Nevertheless.
Oh, there you see Rod Steele about taken out by his NWA teammate, if you will, Lex Lovett. And there Lex putting the boots to this guy. And here he comes over to the much smaller Jet Jaguar. And Lex Lovett suddenly dominating this match.
You want to talk about wrestling imitating real life? Oh, my God. He almost killed himself on that spot. But you want to talk about mirroring society in real life. The NWA in the dressing room, behind the scenes, they can't stand each other, let alone feuding with us. And it sees it right in the middle of the ring. Lex Lovett, he can't get along with Rod Steele. The feud is supposed to be NWA versus IPW. These guys can't pull the knives out of their backs long enough to stick it in IPW's back. These guys are low scumbags that you can't trust. Look, there they are again, taking it right to each other.
That's true. Let me tell you, Ron, people have said to me in the past few weeks, aren't you worried about what some of the NWA wrestlers might do to you, the way you and Ronnie have been talking about them lately? But I tell them, of course not. We come on at 2 in the morning. Nobody from the NWA can stay awake that long.
The only thing that the NWA guys are on at 2 in the morning is the Blue Boy channel, starring in their own versions of gay porn. Vito DiNucci, Chris Nelson, Lex Lovett, and the rest of those stooges, they're traveling around working for a bunch of other third-rate promotions. The truth is, they got to have their anniversary show right here at the WrestlePlex, supposedly go down into the lower levels of wrestling society. I'm here to tell you that IPW saved the day because of our hatred and our need for bloodshed, and to end this angle, IPW has now got the War Games on their home turf. The NWA on October 13th is going to die a painful and miserable death.
That's true, and I hear many NWA wrestlers telling everybody secretly that they're glad that for the first time in over a year, they get to wrestle in a building that has air conditioning.
And in front of a crowd. Because the one thing about the WrestlePlex that you can always count on, we got the best insurance in Tampa, Florida. And what's that, Aaron?
Best insurance.
That's right, brother.
All right, now that we're done with the obligatory promos, we see Jet Jaguar reeling outside the ring. I thought maybe he was going to start dancing or spewing his spit or something, like you've seen in his promo here last week. And there you see Rod Steele taking it to Lex Lovett.
Rod Steele and Jet Jaguar, They can dance, they can sing, they can wrestle, they can do it all. But the filthy swine Jet Jaguar banned in strip joints, banned in Hooters, and banned in Wing House around the country, let alone Florida. He is the filthy swine, the original filthy swine, and he's taking it to these two gentlemen. And there he does it Mass Superstar style with the reverse neck breaker, just like Eddie Gilbert had done to him over 15 years ago on the floor of Madison Square Garden, ending his very young career.
All right, and fans, I want to remind you, Rod Steele, we may not like him. He is the NWA turncoat, but you see how talented this guy is, how far he's come in less than a year, and he trained right here at the WrestlePlex. You can train here too. It's 727-526-6778. If you want to be like these guys in the ring, give us a call and start today.
And if you're like Aaron Royal and you suffer from some of the most brutal itching hemorrhoids of all time, I urge you, please, what's the doctor's name, Aaron?
Shut up, Ron.
Okay.
There you see Lex Lovett going for the pinfall attempt. That's called a no-sell, by the way. And there you see Lovett getting hit by Jet Jaguar, breaking up the pinfall attempt. I don't understand quite why these guys are doing this. It's an elimination match. It's not a best, first fall to a finish. You would think that they would want to get one guy out of there, but I guess maybe these guys want to prove that they can beat both of these guys by themselves. They don't want any question who the top cruiserweight in the state of Florida really is.
Now, you hear of war veterans, you hear of heroes and cops and everybody else going through flashbacks. You look at Star Stevens with his hair looked like it was set on fire and put out with a rake. You see his eyes like a deer caught in the headlights. This is bringing him back to the unspeakable mud match in Puerto Rico. Tell him about it, Aaron.
Well, our senses have told us that for safety precautions, we shouldn't talk about that match anymore. But we can talk about the Mud Baby Star Stevens all we want. Ron, do me a favor. Talk like him again.
I would love to. I'd love to, Aaron, but it scares me. This three-way, it brings me back to the mud. Forget it. The census says I can't, brother.
All right, now you see Jet Jaguar taking over in the much larger Lex Lovett. Jet Jaguar, people underestimate him because of his size all the time, but he's a four-time former light heavyweight champion, a former member of 911 Incorporated, and from what I understand, you called him the filthy swine. He's actually the filthiest swine of them all. As I've actually heard, he gives you most of your material for your obscenity-laced promos.
I've been known to have my obscenity-laced promos written for me by Jet Jaguar. Just like the voice of IPW, Shannon Rose, gives you any material that you're spewing out of your mouth that is actually somewhat interesting. It's a shame that you're
wow. That's gotta hurt.
Bam Bam Bigelow one time suffered a ruptured testicle at the hands of Austin Idol and Tommy Rich and Paulie Dangerously, and it led to the most brutal match inside of a cage where Tommy Rich was underneath the ring drinking all night, and the result was Jerry Lawler with a bald head, Tommy Rich puking in the corner, and Paulie Dangerously, from what I understand, defecated himself as Austin Idol cut one of the most historically rich promos in the history of wrestling.
And that has been the history of Memphis wrestling with Ron Meany.
Beautiful blockbuster, or as he calls it, the Lex Splatter.
There you go. Can you get the 3 count here? No, he can't. Rod Steele surprisingly gets that shoulder up. And let me tell you, everybody who knows anything about IPW knows that just the opposite is true about what you said about myself and Shannon Rose, so I don't need to elaborate any further. But the producers make me, so I'm going to tell you once again, you can catch Shannon Rose every Wednesday night on 10:40 a.m. from 7 to 8 p.m. for Pro Wrestling Weekly. And you can also check out his website for all the news from all around the wrestling world. That's ProWrestlingDaily.com. Once again, Pro Wrestling Daily, all one word,
How much money is he paying you? For God's sake, all I was doing is trying to put the poor sap over, and if that means burying you in the process, it makes for good TV. But enough's enough. Time is money, Aaron.
Well, he told me he's trying to hook up, so I'm just trying to take care of the guy.
Absolutely. Now, you see the hatred for IPW and NWA in the ring with the Mud Baby Star Stevens just trying to keep some semblance of order. On October 13th, the Saturday night, the War Games. It's the Shane brothers, Scoot Andrews, the one and only Jet Jaguar, and Mike Sullivan against 5 other schmucks that the NWA decides to throw in the ring. It might be Pistol Pez Watley, Tyree Pride, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Wendell Cooley, and Missy Hyatt for all we know.
Actually, I believe that was their first choice, but there was some problems with the transportation, so they're having to go with Plan B.
And Plan B would be?
I believe that's going to be Tiger Conway Jr., Coco Samoa. It's going to be Mike Davis as the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the 2 masked jobbers from WCW Worldwide.
We got our work cut out for us, kid, but we'll be here on the 13th, ready to bleed for our cause. You know it doesn't matter if they stick chaos in there in the place of the Masked Jobber or Galaxian or Thunderfoot. We'll take it to him, and Rod Steele, if he sticks his nose in the business, you know I'm going to be at ringside during this War Games fiasco. I'm not going to be like Barry Windham back in the old War Games and have my head stuck between two rings with my feet sticking up in the air, where I'm lucky if I don't come out with a broken neck, and have J.J. Dillon running around at ringside like madman. There's Star Stevens counting the pin. Was that good?
It looked like it was a 3 count to me, but Star holds up 2 fingers. I think that's because of that awful boating accident that happened that got rid of his middle finger. We can talk about that another time. And there you see Lex Lovett taking the belt to both individuals. I guess Jet did get the pinfall there. I don't know what's going on here, Ronnie. Oh, here we go. Lex Lovett putting our guy on top of the NWA guy here. That's unusual.
And that's the 5-time IPW, and let me reiterate, Cruiserweight champion now that has been renamed. IPW is actually catching up with the times.
That's true. IPW math, if you take a light heavyweight and a junior heavyweight and put them together, you then have a Cruiserweight.
And that's Jet Jaguar, the 5-time IPW Cruiserweight champion, and Lex Lovett parading around the ring like some NWA world champion bitch looking to take out Jet Jaguar. It makes me sick to my stomach that he would even hand Jet Jaguar the title, and then he gets on the ring thinking he's going to cut some promo, and there's the Shane brothers taking it together. Is this the reformation of 911 Incorporated that Ron Nini's been working on behind the scenes? Is Jet Jaguar coming back into the fold there in Royal?
I've heard many rumors, but you would know that better than anybody. Jet Jaguar certainly had most of his success as a member of 911 Incorporated. And there you see Buck Q bailing out of the ring once the Shane brothers hit. And the same with Lex Lovett. Those guys talk a big game. They want to hit us with belts. I tell you what, Ron, during that War Games match, I don't usually say this, but I hope to God that you come in with that Halliburton and take out each and every one of them.
The Shane brothers and Jet Jaguar left, and you got a multiple champion in Jet Jaguar, and he's there, and Rod Steele, a man without a country, stuck in the corner. And the Shanes and Jet don't care.
That's true, and there you see, that's a very familiar sight, reminiscent of old days, 911 Incorporated. I tell you what, Ron, it's great to see Jet Jaguar holding that belt again, now a double champion. And fans, we're going to be here each and every week on UPN 44.
Florida Junior Heavyweight Champion!